Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.
It's Brian and Kenzie on Q101.
Ahoy! Let's go! We're waking up Chicago. Turn up the radio. It's time to start the show. On Q101 with the morning crew. Ahoy! Let's go! Welcome to the morning show.
Let's go. It is 6:03, 60 degrees, going to be 82 and sunny today, a perfect day again. And 312-591-8300. Give us that proof of life check-in right now, as you always like to get from you right now. You good? Check in. Again, this morning, 8 o'clock is your next opportunity to get into the only way, by the way, to get into the Offspring Q101 pop-up at the Metro. So 8 o'clock. And then just so you put it in your phone all day long, if you're going to put 8 a.m. in, you might as well put in noon. Lauren's going to have a chance then. Brian Phillips at 5 p.m. And then 8 o'clock tonight. So you got 4 chances a day for the next 2 weeks from tomorrow, because that show will be Thursday, September 19th. I can't believe September 19th is 2 weeks away.
That doesn't sound possible. I'm like, so they have till next year.
Yeah. Christmas is the day after that, actually.
Well, of course.
Yeah, it's Christmas. And
wear your Halloween costume when you go.
yeah, wear your Halloween costumes to Riot Fest, because the Offspring will play Riot Fest that weekend after, which is only 2 weeks from this Friday. What? And yeah, I know, it's wild. It's wild, and it's all for you, and it's all free. The only way to do it is to hit us up at 8 o'clock. Make sure you're here. It's real easy. Just text a word. It's that easy. I wanted to do a big-ass song scramble of 19 Offspring songs.
That's what I've been saying.
Yeah, 19 of them.
That's fun.
Yeah, no, got vetoed on that one. Too tough.
By who? Was it Case?
No.
Such a party pooper.
I'm not a party pooper.
Actually,
You are.
Well, no, how's Case a party pooper?
I'm a fun guy.
See how high his voice was when he said that? Clear sign of lies.
Fun guy. What's the last thing you would say that you did? We were off a little bit, so what'd you do that was fun?
I went mini golfing.
Okay, don't sound sad about it. You made it sound sad. Mini golfing is fun. That's good.
I agree, and I had a great time.
Okay.
Did you, or did you complain the whole time?
I got a little upset when I started losing.
See?
Where'd you go mini golfing?
Big Putt Mini in Boys Town.
Okay.
I went to the Wicker Park one many times, but I now live very close to the Boys Town one and said, let's go golfing.
So it's like a bar and they have it inside, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And you didn't use the bar.
I did not use the bar.
It's so fun.
Actually, when we checked in, the guy was like, all right, we'll get a drink from the bar and then come back here. And I said, well, what if I'm ready to golf now? And he did not like that.
Yeah.
What guy?
And the guy working there.
Okay.
Not just some, street
I'm like,
corner
what
guy.
are you doing? Your Boys Town with some guy? What's going on? Things okay with Mackenzie?
Yeah, he goes,
Case is finding himself.
he goes, let's get you a drink here. He goes, no, I'm here to golf, mother effer.
This is what I mean. This guy was like, let's get some drinks and golf. Case is like, absolutely not. Who's keeping score? Where's the pencil?
I got this great big fishbowl drink with an umbrella in it. It's red. It's fun. No. I've got to focus because hole 3 is ridiculous. I've looked at screenshots of it, and I've got to get that hole done.
It was a nightmare. I was 5 over par on the first hole. It was a bad night. Now that I think about it, I really didn't have fun.
Okay.
I
I don't know how to have fun.
I know.
We just got there. It didn't take that long. It took about a minute and a half to get there.
And we're back to me being right.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
Case the producer trying to verify he had fun mini golfing and talked himself out of it and realized he didn't have any fun. Now, Bob checking in from Broadview says, Case, you want to leave work and go mini golfing with me right now?
I would love to.
Doesn't sound like it'd be very much fun, though.
I will try to have fun. I'm working on it. I see you. I hear you. I'm listening. I'm trying to be fun. I'm practicing having fun.
Well, you
Even
should...
that statement was boring.
Yeah. Really aggressive, too.
Right?
Is there any mini golf in Broadview? I don't even know.
I'm sure there's... Come on now. There's got to be. Come on.
What's the best mini golf in Broadview? Check that out.
Mini golf Broadview.
Because Case needs to go to this guy. He needs to go to Bob in Broadview.
Puttery? I think there's a puttery.
Oh, I love the name of that. Puttery. I'm into it.
Just putzing around.
Yeah.
Oh, no, that's not there.
That's not... The puttery is not in Broadview?
It looks like Lost Mountain Adventure Golf. That sounds fun. That's very Indiana Jonesy out in Broadview. I like that.
Okay.
Holes and Knolls.
Holes and knolls or holes knolls?
Holes and knolls.
What's a knoll?
Like a knoll. Like I think there's such thing as a grassy knoll.
I know that.
Is that the same thing?
I hope not. That doesn't sound like fun mini golf then. Because on the grassy knoll was the second shooter of JFK.
That's
if you
right.
I'm honestly
verified.
not sure what a grassy knoll is. I've just heard of it.
What do you think a grassy knoll is?
I would guess a field. A knoll, because it's grass. It's not going to be a hole.
It's a little, it's a grassy kind of, a little bit of an elevated hill where the second shooter was who killed JFK.
So a knoll is a hill?
Yeah, I think so.
A knoll? Oh, yeah, look at this. A small hill or mound of earth.
Does it say where the second shooter was?
It actually is one of the first things that pops up. A grassy knoll is a small hill in Dallas, Texas.
All right, there's plenty of places to mini golf in Broadview. So go ahead, Case. You can leave. You can go ahead down there right now.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
If there's someone that runs one, would they open up this early? Check in with us too.
That'd be great. I'd love that.
Let's do that. It's Brian and Kenzie on Q101. A fact that makes your brain go. Coming up here in a couple minutes after Cage.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
It's Brian and Kenzie on Q101 coming up with a fact that makes your brain just go. And this is a pretty simple, I'll just throw it out there, that the name that SpongeBob SquarePants was supposed to have, and you will never believe what it was supposed to be.
Ready, kids?
Aye, aye, Captain!
I can't hear you.
Aye, aye, Captain!
Oh! Who lives in a pineapple under the sea?
SpongeBob SquarePants!
So this song would be completely different.
Well, I'm trying to think of what else would rhyme. That's why I'm trying to figure out his name.
I don't even know if I can do that with a guess for you or Case on this one. Just like, I'll just tell you what it is when we come back here in 5 minutes. But the name...
Was the word sponge still involved? It's very important as I'm trying to rhyme it in my head.
Okay, yes, I'll give you that much of a
The
hint.
word sponge was still in play.
Sponge was in play. And then it ended up SpongeBob SquarePants. But the first part of it, what it was supposed to be, because it's so
Is it like problematic? Is it something that's not going to age well?
Let me see. Let me look at it.
So maybe it was something sponge pants. I think it's going to be in a different order. I think it's going to be sponge pants.
It sounds like you're doing algebra over there.
Oh,
Okay,
God.
you know what? It could have been problematic if they went with the first name.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I can't wait.
So we'll tell you what that is in 5 minutes. You can guess at 312-591-8300 on the text line if you want to text in. The name is SpongeBob SquarePants. I'm just laughing because I know what it was supposed to be. and
It's
so
problematic? Was his name like a racial slur?
Nah, I'm saying it could be perceived as problematic. I'm not saying it is. It would have been obviously problematic. But there's a chance that if it stayed the way they wanted it, it would have been like,
Was he going to get named Dick? So it was like,
no.
Dick?
None of that. None of
Dick
that.
pants?
No, none of that.
That's a little on the nose, don't you think?
We'll have that for you in 5 minutes.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
Well, it's one of the more important, without question, facts to make your brain go, is that SpongeBob SquarePants' original name.
Who lives in a pineapple under the sea?
SpongeBob SquarePants!
All right, so we end that. That's how we know it, but it was going to be something else. And I said there's a chance it could be perceived as problematic if it had become that. Let's see, SpongeBob has been around, what, over 20 years, right?
It'll turn 25 next month.
Wow, 25. And so the name it was supposed to be, instead of SpongeBob SquarePants, was... It was supposed to be Sponge Boy Ahoy.
Oh.
How about that, first off? It was supposed to be Sponge Boy Ahoy.
That's cute.
That's kind of fun.
That is adorable.
Now, the reason I said it could be problematic is I can't imagine, Sponge Boy just has a little bit of a weird...
Undertone.
Yeah, doesn't it?
Why?
It could have, I'm saying, for some people. Those
No,
people.
when you hear, wait a minute.
What do you mean by those people?
I would like to know the inappropriate thing that I want to know the image in detail that pops in your head that's inappropriate when you hear Sponge Boy. I want to know.
A little bit as the squirting emoji that I use.
I like
But
that.
sponges absorb. It's the opposite of squirt. It cleans up the squirt. that bad?
I'm just saying that's what comes into my brain, that it could have been perceived. There could have been some other things that it could
Do
have
you
went that way.
imagine like a sexy car wash with a guy like with a sponge on the mirror? Like
Not-
Sponge Boy.
Not a car wash scene.
No.
Another scene.
Wow. In your search history.
But overall, so SpongeBob SquarePants was supposed to be Sponge Boy Ahoy.
That is very cute. I get where they're coming from.
Now, you know what the problem was with it? It wasn't problematic. You know what the problem was?
What's that?
A mop company already owned that trademark to Sponge Boy. And
What mop company?
I didn't do that
No, now I
research
gotta
on
look
it.
it up.
Yeah. And this is so long ago, maybe that company's not even in business anymore. So they're like, damn, we can't call it Sponge Boy. And somebody in the room just went, well, how about SpongeBob? We'll just call it a day. Let's go to lunch. And then they did. And it was SpongeBob. And they probably thought the cartoon was going to last like 6 months,
Yeah.
not 25 years. And that was it. So is the Sponge Boy mop company still in business,
Does
Kenzie?
the Sponge Boy mop exist? No, I can't find it anywhere.
Now, the mop company could have owned the trademark and not used it, which happens often. You know, people
I feel
take.
like that happened.
Yeah. They thought we're going to launch this
They
mop
just
called
ran
the.
into trademarking issues because they can't find
This
it.
Sponge Boy mop is going to be at Home Depot, Lowe's, everywhere.
It's
And
going
then,
to change the game.
and then they didn't change the game, and Sponge Boy Ahoy was going to be the name, which made the song way different. But
That's
I
true.
would love to hear the remix, like the original, you know.
sadly, I don't have that ready. I don't even know if they got that far. They might have just been coming up with a name, and I don't know when they added SquarePants to it. So they went Sponge Boy Ahoy, Sponge
Probably
Boy
when they were
Ahoy,
making the song, they're like, well, this still doesn't rhyme.
SpongeBob
You know, it's like,
SquarePants,
okay.
Sponge Boy Ahoy.
Do you think they based the show around the theme song?
It's hard to write an entire song, Case, where everything rhymes.
But I bet the theme song came last, not first.
I think that SquarePants may have been added during the draft of like nothing's rhyming the way we imagined originally.
You think he had baggy pants first, and they finally said, and the song says square pants, so now let's make his pants square.
Or they were like, what could we add? Look at him. What could we add to this? Ah.
He's a sponge, you see,
Yeah.
and they're kind of square.
Look at those SquarePants. Let's do it.
There you go.
Brian, you don't really have any relationship with SpongeBob, do you?
I do.
I know you do.
What do you mean a relationship with him?
Well, you don't really watch the show, right? You're kind of a fake fan.
I've seen it. I can't say like I've seen every episode like you guys have with The Office. Like I've seen some episodes.
Or with SpongeBob.
Or with SpongeBob.
Yeah.
Have you seen every episode of SpongeBob SquarePants?
For sure, until I was like 15.
Yeah.
I haven't seen, sometimes you gotta grow up, man. It's tough. But,
Kenzie, what's your favorite one?
I remember vividly, Case, my brother and I waiting on the late night drop of the special episode.
Uh-huh.
There's a special episode that was going to drop, and we stayed up and waited, okay? Because this is when you couldn't watch it on a streaming app later, like you had to watch in real time. And it was just 3 minutes of him walking weird. And we sat there with our jaw on the floor, kind of like the scene from the Christmas Story where he's trying to do the decoder and then it's like just drink more of the product as the secret message. That's kind of how we felt. But to this day, we send each other my brother and I sent each other the walking thing. It was the biggest waste of time of our entire life. And to this day, we remember it.
Is that GIF available when you text?
Yes, because it's the long. If you ever seen SpongeBob's really long legs and arms?
I wish you could see how Kenzie was just walking in her chair right now.
It's kind of like Vince McMahon.
It's the Conor McGregor walk.
That's what he walks weird for about 3 minutes, and then it just turned off, and we're like, wow.
That's amazing. As of July 25th this year, there were 303 episodes of SpongeBob. It's currently in its 14th season, so I don't know how many episodes we're into the 14th season right now. So I don't know if so that's a lot of episodes. You think you've seen all of them? Case, you seen all of them?
I've probably seen 200 of them.
Oh,
What's your
jeez.
most popular SpongeBob quote? Because I have a couple.
Oh.
Hit me with I first off, I love saying, it's not a rock, it's a boulder. I love that.
The one that I like is when it's from my favorite episode where they perform at the halftime show at the Bubble Bowl and they do the whole big musical performance. And SpongeBob at one point is like shaking his little butt and doing a whole big thing. And people are looking at SpongeBob and Squidward goes, That's his eager face. I just like using the term eager face.
By the way, Tony checked in. My girlfriend and I are playing SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom. It's a game right now.
That's a legendary video game.
They're playing it right now while we're talking about this.
It's amazing.
It's a $10 game. Thanks, Tony, for listening to the show and playing a little game.
Hey, Case.
Yeah.
What's funnier than 24?
What is?
25.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101 as we gave you the fact that makes your brain go. That SpongeBob SquarePants was supposed to be called SpongeBoy Ahoy. How about that? That was the original name of SpongeBob SquarePants, but a mop company owned the rights to it of SpongeBoy Ahoy. So they just went, let's go with this SpongeBob SquarePants, and it'll be perfect. Now, a lot of you have really chimed in. We had like 10 phone lines lit about SpongeBob quotes. Not how I expected this to go.
An honorary mention, I must say, to the Flying Dutchman's boat getting scratched. And the whole time he's going, you're good.
You're good.
You're good. It's unbelievable. Thank you so much for reminding me an iconic moment in history.
It's one of the funniest TV shows ever written.
I know, people keep saying it's bad for kids. And I'm like, I'm fine.
No,
I don't know.
We turned out great.
Well, it's,
I didn't say I was great. I said fine. There's a huge difference.
Dakota checked in, a crew member said, Brian, this is the favorite fact you've ever shared in 6 years of doing facts. It's fun. That got us to this point. So, Kenzie brought up this one, of course. People are just texting in the favorite lines and quotes from SpongeBob.
Today's first lesson will be on turning.
24.
Hey, Patrick.
What?
I thought of something funnier than 24.
Let me hear it.
25.
That's enough!
Oh, my God.
Brian, do you know who that teacher is? Do you know anything about Mrs. Puff?
See, I don't. SpongeBob was out of my wheelhouse. I'm sorry to say.
This is Puff.
Yeah, shouts out.
Yeah.
Amen.
That's why. Tell me something about her, Case.
Well, she's the boating school teacher because they all drive boats
They
in
drive
Bikini
boats,
Bottom.
not cars. You
Got
see.
it.
Do you see the joke?
I got it now.
Okay, it's very funny when you think about it.
Now,
Remember when he fails his test? And how many did I need?
the other one that came through for most of the listeners is mayonnaise an instrument.
Yeah, this is a classic.
Okay, so this is from SpongeBob.
People, settle down. Okay, now, how many of you have played musical instruments before?
Do instruments of torture count?
No.
Is mayonnaise an instrument?
No, Patrick, mayonnaise is not an instrument. Horseradish is not an instrument either.
Oh, man. Is it too late for me to binge SpongeBob?
You're right on time. I can't imagine a better time.
I mean, to go back and start from the beginning.
Like a real fan.
Because I've seen episodes. I'm not a fraud. I've not, like, it was out of my wheelhouse as far as, you guys are closer to the same age and grew up with SpongeBob.
Yes.
I'm a Gen Xer, and even though a lot of our Gen Xers smoked weed and watched SpongeBob because all my friends did, that's what they did. Mm-hmm. And I didn't smoke that weed.
The SpongeBob weed?
I probably should have. No, just the regular weed and watch
The
SpongeBob.
seaweed?
Like I was all in Adult Swim. Like, let's say, Space Ghost Coast to Coast was my wheelhouse. That was you don't know what you're missing with Space Ghost.
Were you a Robot Chicken fan?
Hell yes.
Of course you were.
Yeah, I had Seth Green on the show and we talked about Robot Chicken.
How could you? It was like 12 minutes. It was weird.
Yeah, I never liked the runtime of
Me
Robot
either.
Chicken.
It really messed me up. I didn't. It was like I'm
that
mad.
it was my wheelhouse of time. Give me
it
12
was just
minutes.
Skits. I couldn't piece it together. I was like, I don't know what's going on. It
Oh,
was
I
on
love-
summer break.
I love Robot
Shouldn't have
Chicken.
been watching it. Very confused.
Okay, keep checking in here with your favorite moments from SpongeBob. Didn't plan on us going that way this morning. It
Or
is.
went out for SpongeBob Ahoy. You know what I'm saying?
It's Brian and Kenzie on Q101.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
Today's fact that made your brain go boom was SpongeBob SquarePants was supposed to be named SpongeBoy Ahoy. That was the original name, but a mop company owned the Sponge Boy trademark, so they changed it to SpongeBob SquarePants. This has unlocked a lot of nostalgia for our listeners today of wanting to. We really haven't started the show yet. I've been playing clips of SpongeBob.
That's the show.
Is that the show?
That's the show. That's
Throw
good
an
stuff.
episode on. What about their Super Bowl performance? Let's put it on.
That's my favorite one.
Let's just air the whole thing.
Let's kick back and go get some food.
Yes.
So Baby Daddy Dave checked in. 9 kids with Baby Daddy Dave. This is the last clip we'll play. He wanted the SpongeBob Air is Not Good episode.
You can't leave now. You'll blow it.
Air is not good, Patrick. Air is not good.
I really think I got to go back and binge SpongeBob all the way through so I understand everything.
It'd be
Please do
great.
it.
Because I only understand some of it because I've watched some episodes.
Hear me out. Instead of watching Entourage for the 5th time, just
or
watch
Sopranos for the 8th time.
Just
Okay,
watch something else
Okay,
once.
hold up. Both of you F off then with that kind of mentality.
Okay, sorry.
We can't do that. I got to find more time in the day to do that and this.
What if instead of watching the cop show you watch when you get home, Chicago PD, what if you watch SpongeBob instead?
That's finally we're getting somewhere.
Okay, so you can't sacrifice Entourage, but you can sacrifice Chicago PD.
I didn't say you could ever watch Entourage again. How about we just put it on pause and you watch it for the 5th time after watching SpongeBob?
That's a better way to put it, Kenzie.
Let's layer
Thank
it.
you. Like Shrek, like onions, layers.
Yes.
That's like a
You
compliment
watch a new
sandwich.
show, and then you watch Entourage. Then you watch a new show, then you watch Entourage. It's okay.
It's so these people that have seen everything. I don't know how you do it. I don't know how. I wish I could do it. I love TV. I wish I could.
Well, they make
Let
time
go.
for SpongeBob. That's how they do it.
All right, I got to make time for SpongeBob. Add that to the list. I'm still behind on the challenge. I haven't cut the new up. I've only one new episode. I'm 2 behind.
Listen, they're all going to compete and somebody wins. Move on. Watch SpongeBob. It's the same thing.
Oh no.
Same people you've seen for 800 years.
And they're all the best people on earth.
At least go home and watch the Bubble Bowl episode. That's the best one there is. That's when they perform at the halftime show. It's the greatest. That's from Is Mayonnaise an Instrument? That's where that clip is from, that episode.
Okay, I will do that. I promise.
Will you?
Yeah, I will.
Will you come back at this time tomorrow and talk about
Put
it?
your hands in the air. Put your hands in the air, will you promise?
What do you mean? What do you mean? Like a touchdown signal?
I feel like you're crossing your fingers. You're a big liar.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Fingers up.
I got long toes.
Ugh. Can't cross your toes.
I'll watch the episode. What's it called again? Case?
I don't know. Just Google SpongeBob Bubble Bowl.
Okay.
Yeah, we're supposed to have the episodes memorized.
I think it's called Band Geeks.
Okay. I'll watch that and do a review tomorrow. We'll get that going. All right, here's Gil Curtis with your headlines. Run a little bit late here.
This is not headline news. A study claims it only takes 15 minutes to get healthy. Too bad my microwave claims it only takes 3 minutes to heat a Hot Pocket. For her 58th birthday, Salma Hayek posted more than a dozen bikini pics on Instagram. Although I only got to the 9th one. It's Beyonce's birthday. She's whatever age she says she is. The Dallas Cowboys are once again the most valuable team in the NFL until the start of the postseason. And Netflix is developing a One Tree Hill sequel series. If it's not called Two Tree Hill, I'm going off on someone. This is not headline news.
Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.